there. In this video I would like to talk to you about some of the nice features of Vako 2004 parts and components. Okay, let's start with the Easy Lock core drum from Vako 2004 line. This drum is intended for the chain lift system. It features unique and patent design with coned spool, which prevents any cord jamming. The tab you see on the end is the tab that we use to lock the core drum into the headrail once the placement is fixed. And the orange tab locks the drum and prevents it from spinning before installation. There is a little notch here that the lock goes in, and this is how it locks the drum in place. You're supposed to remove the pin when you install your shade and before you operate the cords. All drums come with pre-attached about 10 feet long cord, 1.2 millimeters. The cord also comes in several different colors to coordinate with your back of the shade or your hardware components. Speaking of which, you see some of the available color finishes for the beaded chain look. And this is the two type of control units that Vako does offer. One works in 1:4 ratio, and the other one works in 1:1 ratio. The difference between these two is in the speed that they will lift and operate the entire shade, and we would like to demonstrate that for you. Here with me is my dear friend Jennifer White, and we will run that for you. Okay.
So you're operating the 1:1 clutch, and
right.
I'm operating the 1:4.
Alright, so now the question is how to choose the right control unit for your shade. 1:1 control unit supports shades up to 14 pounds, and 1:4 can handle shades up to 18 pounds. But that's not the only one criteria. My personal rule is if the shade is over 40 inches wide, I would always opt for 1:4, because that makes operation very a lot easier in terms that you have a very long span on the headrail track, and then you need more leverage to lift the cords of such a large shade. Also, please note that if you have several shades in the same room, it doesn't matter what size they may be, they may vary in sizes. If one of these shades you have chosen to work with 1:4, opt for all of them, because that way you will synchronize all shades in the room. One of the greatest feature of 2004 track for all lift system is this piece that connect both the drive rod and the headrail all together, so it makes for a very easy installation. And here I'm going to demonstrate how that works. One side goes to the drive rod on the one piece, and the other one goes to the other one. Of course, you need to tie those screws and push the track in, and once again secure it with those screws. Being able to use this connector helps you in several different ways. First, you can utilize all your scrap pieces, and that makes 2004 program very suitable for workrooms that assemble their shade kits on site. And from another point, it could save you a lot from shipping and make shipping very affordable, because very long tracks you can ship in spliced pieces. Just be aware of the fact that, however, this will be a joining point and may need a little bit extra support. So what we do in cases like that, we make sure to have brackets very close to the joint point for extra support when it's installed. And another extra measure may be if you mount this to a board for additional support. So what we see here is the so-called cutting jig. It's a piece that fits very well the interior of the truck and helps with cutting. Sometimes, let's say if you don't assemble the shades in your workroom, but you order them pre-assembled, you may end up having to shorten the truck. And depends on what kind of cutting equipment you have in your workroom, but some saws can damage the aluminum truck, like smashing it. Once again, it doesn't mean that it's necessarily going to happen, but this piece will prevent smashing of the headrail. If you keep it like that and you run your blade right next to it, it just simply protects the shape of the interior. Another nice accessory is this offset cord guide, which helps to offset the cord to a different location. Like not every time you can have even spacing of the drums, simply because the drum itself is about 5 inches long, and if you have two back-to-back facing different directions, then you will need 10 inches in between. But very often you may want to have your cord somewhere before the 10 inches mark, and then you can easily offset that cord with this guide. And it's painted in white, so it fits and blends with the back of the headrail. You tighten it to the headrail with a screw. And then all you have to do is take the end of the cord and thread it through. And this is how you offset your cord. Speaking about the cords, Vako offers this very nice cord stopper, and it's fully transparent and UV resistant, and it's very easy to squeeze. Actually, you don't need extra pliers for it. I like to do that twice for extra stability.